John Morgan, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. First of all, congratulations on just this massive ride of Friends Like That, officially in the top 5, looking like it could go all the way. When you put this thing out almost a year ago now that it charted, it's been like the little engine that could, as far as songs that just keep moving and chugging along.
Yeah, dude, it's been really fun to watch. I mean, obviously right now I'm just stoked to be in the game. My goal was to hit top 10, so I've already surpassed my original goal with this song, and I'm the rest of it's icing right at this point.
Let's talk about that a little bit. You've got 16 cuts as a songwriter with Jason Aldean. You've got a cut on a Grammy-nominated duet with Carrie. Now you've got your own album about to drop as an artist. That journey from songwriter to artist has been tried so many times in the history of Nashville and the history of country music. And while there have been success stories, the amount of people that haven't even gotten to this point is far more. At what point did this whole transition from songwriter, which you're still doing, obviously, to artist as well, start feeling real for you?
That's a great question, man. I feel like, it was always in the back of my mind as far as long-term goal. I always wanted to be an artist, and I felt like I had something to say, and I knew I didn't know at the time exactly what that was, but I knew what it wasn't, and so I was just trying to, buy my time until it was my opportunity to take advantage of, the platform that's been given to me at radio, on the streaming world, and everything else that has come over the last couple of months. It's something that I've tried to prepare for. You can't really prepare for it, honestly, because you never know what song is going to be the one that puts you on the map. And so I honestly didn't know this one would be the one until we reworked it with Aldean and had that all kind of planned out. But it's been really fun to watch it. Like you said, slow climb on the way up. Hopefully it'll slow climb on the way down for us, and just be a big hit for us. I'm very excited and just thankful to be in the game right now.
You've been out with Jason. You've gone out with Ernest, Riley Green, Kane Brown. Who's the tour bus MVP? Like, who's the guy bringing the funnest late night hang shenanigans? Like, who would be who's the most fun, and who were you pleasantly surprised to see a different side of them from, the front-facing, crowd-facing artist vibe that we get?
Yeah, depends on
or can you safely disclose that information?
No, I was going to say it depends on what you're classifying as fun. Getting in trouble fun, or no. Dude, all those guys honestly have been really cool. I mean, I got to see probably the most, on the back end of Jason's crew and how they operate. And so I have a lot of respect for them. And honestly, I've gotten to see pretty much everybody, how they operate, how they treat their people. That goes a long way for me, how they just treat people in general. And I think your last question about who probably, or who do I see on the back end that's nicer, if not as nice as people think? It's probably Riley. I mean, Riley's been cool to me every time we've been out with him. He's always, stopped in and said hey, and also pulled me up on stage during his set, and it's always a cool thing. But I would say probably the best vibe as far as bus. I didn't go up on Riley's, but Ern's got a pretty tight little rig there that he's riding around in, and he has a lot of fun.
You guys are you kind of have the same story as far as your journey, because Ernest obviously started out as a very prolific songwriter, as have you. Do you guys talk ideas and give advice to one another based on where you're at in your career? Because he's also made the transition to a front facing artist. I feel like that's something you can kind of help each other grow throughout this the next couple of years while you're coming up.
Yeah, man. I think what we do, there's the majority, at least the majority of what I picked up on. A lot of the guys who are in this are very competitive guys, right? Like they're just, it's just in them. And I'm very competitive too. I played sports and everything growing up, so I definitely still have a little bit of that edge. But what's been really cool to me is the guys who have that competitiveness, but are also willing to open up and share how their process works with somebody like me, who's the new guy on the block. And Aldean's been a huge guy for that. But Ern, yeah, we it's funny because we ran into each other I think we were at Charlotte Airport. We were both like literally. I was just walking to my gate, and Ern was coming this way, and I was like, "Dude, where are you going?" And he was like, "Oh, whatever." We had like the same layover time, so we went over to this little bar, and we were just chatting, and hanging out, and we got into publishing and all that. And he's very knowledgeable. He may not lead on to it, but he's very knowledgeable about the back end of publishing and how everything works, and the process of signing writers under him with his level. It's like all these different things. And so I was able to pick his brain on that a lot and see kind of how that works for his camp and how he does it. And so, yeah, just anybody that's willing to, open the curtain back, pull the curtain back a little bit on what they do. I think that goes a long way for me.
You grew up on some pretty prolific guitar players, Tony Rice and John Mayer. Who wins in a who hurt you more guitar battle between those two?
Oh, that's tough, man. I feel like two whole different worlds too, right? Like you got all the grass, all the killing songs and bluegrass that Tony Rice just rips your heart out with. But
right.
I don't know, man. That'd be tough. Tony was the first guy who made me fall in love with guitar just in general. And made me really want to learn how to flat pick and like be a precise guitar player. Mayer came later in life when I was, high school ish, and I'd never really delved into the whole electric guitar world. It was something I was always kind of intimidated by because it's this whole new world really, and I'd always just done acoustic stuff, and so getting to be inspired, I would just sit and play with his records just on loop, man. I would just try to pick up on, lifts and chord structures that he used and try to rip off of what he did. And so, I would probably have to go with Mayer.
Yeah, I remember going to a John Mayer concert, and we were there for 45 minutes and heard two songs. So there's a lot of pain in those jams, for sure. So we got a couple minutes left here to hang with you. You're from Sylva, North Carolina. Going to get to know you a little bit. I don't know where Sylva is on the map, if I'm being honest, but what is something from your hometown that would just completely confuse the rest of the country if they saw it?
Yeah, you're not alone. Not many people have heard of Sylva. We're known for a few different things. A lot of fly fishing guys come through our area for that. It's a big tourist attraction, but the one thing that has baffled me for years is that we have a cat museum in our town.
a lot of single middle-aged women living in that town then, apparently.
Well, the
wait,
thing,
Cat the tractor or Cat the animal?
No, sir. The animal, yes.
Oh, God, because I had to step back for a second because it could have been either one, being a small town. So,
well,
wow.
You would think. No, it's the animal. There's a lot of different cats, a lot of different breeds. I have never
Are they
stepped foot in
live
the
cats?
place.
Like a live cat museum, or taxidermed?
I'm too terrified to go in there, to be honest with you. I've never stepped foot in there. I've just heard tales. There's haunted house tales about it. Honestly, it baffles me to this day. But it's there.
Okay, we'll wrap up with this. You're on a road trip. You got to pull into Buc-ee's, which, if you're not from the South, Buc-ee's is this just they're growing, right? Their footprint is expanding from Texas, and now you can find them in Florida and Tennessee and everything. Have you been to a Buc-ee's before?
Way too many times, yeah.
Okay, so you're going into Buc-ee's. You're down to your last $20. What are you buying to eat? I
mean, their barbecue sandwiches are pretty on point. I mean, they're not like anything else you've ever had, but they always hit the spot. No matter where we're at in our trip or where we're at location wise, they're always very consistent. So I'm getting that, and then probably some of my what is that? I think it's Dead Man's Jerky.
Okay.
I think that's the brand that they have, and it's one of my favorite brands of jerky. So I'm set. If I got those two things and maybe a candy bar that I don't need on the way out that gets me at the register, I'm good.
Yeah, and the Bucky sandwich is not going to hit you 50 miles down the road. You can make it to where you need to go, before you have to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Clutch.
A lot of times.